Succulents are easy plants to propagate through cuttings and often root within a month. If they fail, it's usually a matter of timing. Just like with many other plants, succulent cuttings are best propagated at certain times when they actively grow. But this is where things can get a bit tricky, as these ideal times are not the same for all succulents. Your climate and weather can also play part. In this video, we'll have a look at when the best time is to plant cuttings based on the type of succulent, weather and climate. I have a small succulent nursery and have been propagating my own succulents for many years now. My anecdotal experience is that most succulents grow from spring through to about mid-autumn. The only plants that grow and propagate best as cuttings during the cold months are Aeonium and some sedum cultivars. But if you want to be 100% sure, you can determine when certain succulents propagate best through cuttings based on their name. You can look the name up online and see when the plant's growing season starts and ends. If you don't know the name though, there is one season when all succulents can be planted as cuttings, and it is spring. I don't think I've ever had a succulent that would not grow as a cutting in spring. I pretty much go on a cutting spree once winter ends and propagate all of my succulents, including cacti. Thanks to our mild climate, I can plant cuttings from early spring to mid-autumn. We rarely get frost and it never snows. The downside is high summer temperatures and frequent heat waves. And succulent cuttings may fail if planted during super hot weather. I have to use shade cloth over all of my succulents to avoid burns and having cuttings burned to a crisp. I use 30% shade cloth when temperatures are up to 35 degrees Celsius or 95 Fahrenheit and double it to 60 during days over 35. I try to have all my cuttings for the season planted by end of spring so they have a bit of a root ball before the heat hits. This should help them cope better. On the other side of the spectrum, if your climate means frost and snow during the cold season, you may want to plant cuttings a bit differently. Most succulents are not cold hardy, so you'll have to wait until the dangers of frost pass in spring. You can, however, start them indoors if you have a bright sunny windowsill. The propagation season will be a lot shorter and it may be best to plant all cuttings by the end of summer. You'll want all of your cuttings to have roots before they go dormant for winter. Otherwise, they may die before the next growing season starts. Local weather can also dictate when to plant cuttings. You may want to avoid heat waves where temperatures can go over 40 degrees Celsius or 104 Fahrenheit. Fresh cuttings can be a bit more vulnerable to the elements and don't cope as well during heat as plants that have a good root ball. We've established earlier that frost and snow are not good either. Having once upon a time lived in a country that gets lots of snow, I know late spring frosts are a thing. If you've already planted your cuttings and forecast warns of frost, either bring the cuttings indoors or cover them. And lastly, I would also avoid planting fresh cuttings during heavy prolonged rains. Regular rain with breaks is usually fine, but lots of heavy rain can rot your cuttings. So to conclude, the absolute best time to plant cuttings would be about mid-spring. If you get heavy rains, do bring cuttings under cover. And in climates with cold winters, keep an eye on late frosts. And that is it for today. I hope this video was useful, and if you'd like to add anything or ask a question, you can do so in the comments below. To learn more about succulents, hit the subscribe button or go to succulentgrowingtips.com. Thank you so very much for watching.